Hello, and today I present to you the TV series Lost in Space. I'll tell you about the original names and ages of the actors and how they changed in 2023. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to support us. All right, let's get started. Major Don West is played by Mark Goddard. In 1965, he was 29 years old, and now he is 86 years old. In addition to Lost in Space, Goddard has appeared in numerous other television shows and films throughout his career. Some of his other notable works include appearances in The Blue Angels, The Detectives, and The Doctors and the Nurses, among others. And, after Lost in Space, Goddard continued to work in the entertainment industry, appearing in various stage productions and making guest appearances on television shows.
How did you get down here?
Same way you did, I guess. You got the engine parts.
Yes, they'll have to wait. Right now, we've got to find Don.
Dad, we've got to find Dr. Smith, too.
Even a lot, even though I don't follow that, to the rule.
Dr. Deepak Chopra.
But I followed my own bliss, and I became a teacher after.
Maureen Robinson is played by June Lockhart. In 1965, she was 40 years old, and now she's 97 years old. Lockhart has had a prolific career in both film and television. She appeared in numerous films throughout the 1930s and 1940s, including Sergeant York, 1941, and Meet Me in St. Louis, 1944. She is perhaps best known for her roles on television, particularly for her portrayal of Maureen Robinson in Lost in Space. Additionally, she had a prominent role as Ruth Martin on the long-running series Lassie from 1958 to 1964.
Listen, if you have any complaints about the Housewives Union, you put it in writing, in triplicate.
All right, you win. Say, how's that?
What's this about Miss Ballard's dance card?
Oh, I must have mislaid it. I better go and find it, though.
Try looking in your hand.
Dr. John Robinson is played by Guy Williams. In 1965, he was 41 years old, and sadly, he passed away on April 30th, 1989, at the age of 65. In addition to Zorro and Lost in Space, Williams appeared in various films and television shows throughout his career. Some of his other notable works include appearances in Bonanza, The Time Tunnel, and Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
I am the leader. I do. I'm John Robinson. I'll offer him my hand. That's a universally understood gesture. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I got a better idea. I'm coming around with my hands empty, all right?
All right.
Penny Robinson is played by Angela Cartwright. In 1965, she was 13 years old, and now she's 70 years old. Cartwright is best known for her role as Penny Robinson in the science fiction television series Lost in Space, which aired from 1965 to 1968. Her character, Penny, is the middle child of the Robinson family and often finds herself in adventurous situations while exploring alien worlds.
The conditioning machine says about all men.
I sure hope you don't believe it.
And why shouldn't I? After all, you don't think much of girls.
They are kind of scatterbrained, I guess.
Oh, is that so? Well, let me tell you something, William.
Our brother. I had gone on an interview for the part of Louisa, which I didn't get, but the casting director says, I have you in mind for something. So
Will Robinson is played by Bill Mumy. In 1965, he was 11 years old, and now he's 68 years old. After Lost in Space, Mumy continued to work as an actor, appearing in numerous television shows and films. He also pursued a career in music and has released several albums as a musician and singer-songwriter.
Get off the seaports! What am I doing?
Leg when I was just shy of 4 years old, playing Zorro. And of course, Guy Williams, who was Zorro, became my dad in Lost in Space.
Judy Robinson is played by Marta Kristen. In 1965, she was 20 years old, and now she's 77 years old. Kristen's most famous role came in 1965 when she was cast as Judy Robinson in the science fiction television series Lost in Space. The show ran for 3 seasons and garnered a large fan base, with Kristen's portrayal of Judy earning her widespread recognition.
Hello? Oh, I made it
from the parachute I found in the bottom of the ocean.
There are times when we're biting our lips from laughing. I'm trying not to laugh, you know. We're like this and trying to say and listening, oh yeah.
Alonzo P. Tucker is played by Albert Salmi. In 1966, he was 38 years old, and sadly, he passed away on April 22, 1990, at the age of 62. Salmi appeared in numerous films throughout his career, often portraying tough and rugged characters. Some of his notable film credits include The Brothers Karamazov, 1958, for which he received an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor, The Unforgiven, 1960, and Escape from the Planet of the Apes, 1971.
Well, now, I guess we'd better turn it. I'm gonna have to tie you up, I'm afraid.
Tie me up?
Well, you're my prisoner, ain't you? How am I gonna get a good night's sleep?
People there, the face is known, but the name is never attached to it.
Yeah. Is that hard on your ego?
No, I think it's a compliment to the work that you've done. Because they see the character and they say, gee, I don't
Dr. Zachary Smith is played by Jonathan Harris. In 1965, he was 51 years old. And sadly, he passed away on November 3, 2002, at the age of 87. Harris's most famous role came in 1965 when he was cast as Dr. Zachary Smith in Lost in Space. Originally intended to be a serious villain, Harris transformed the character into a comedic and cowardly figure, providing comic relief to the series. His portrayal of Dr. Smith, with his catchphrases like, "Oh, the pain," became one of the highlights of the show.
Of telling the truth.
Oh, very good. What did you say?
Imperative that I do not abandon.
You're wearing my patience very thin. You will erase that last statement and correct it to read, Dr. Smith is incapable of telling a lie. Repeat.
Totally without humor. Can you fancy that? Oh, I study them all because it keeps you on an even keel. You can live.
Anne Gamma is played by Sheila Allen. In 1965, she was 33 years old, and sadly, she passed away on October 13, 2011, at the age of 78. In addition to her stage work, Allen also appeared in films and television shows. She had roles in movies such as The Russians Are Coming, 1966, and Roller Coaster, 1977. On television, she made guest appearances in popular shows like The FBI, Kojak, and The Waltons.
Boy, I must think about that. Oh, so much to think about, so much to do. I have all those leftover dead warriors from last night.
Volunteered and raised 3 kids here. People often ask, why are you running? Well, like Mr. Rogers says, look for the helpers. I am running because as a nurse and mother, I am a helper.
Neilani is played by Francine York. In 1967, she was 29 years old. And sadly, she passed away on January 6, 2017, at the age of 80. York had a prolific television career, making appearances in numerous popular shows of the time. Besides Lost in Space, she guest starred in series such as Batman, Bewitched, I Dream of Jeannie, Perry Mason, The Man from UNCLE, Mission Impossible, and The Wild Wild West, among many others.
Well now, Smith, you are becoming as brave as our female warriors. I shall recommend you for a decoration, the Condor Merit Badge.
So after we got off the stage, this little old lady came over. She says, well, tell me again. I've never heard anyone talk about before how Elvis smelled. How did he smell? I mean, it was...
Verda is played by Dee Hartford. In 1966, she was 38 years old, and sadly, she passed away on October 21, 2018, at the age of 90. While Dee Hartford's filmography is relatively modest, she appeared in several notable films during her career. Some of her film credits include roles in movies such as The Reluctant Astronaut, 1967, starring Don Knotts and Leslie Nielsen, and The Chapman Report, 1962, directed by George Cukor.
Just to see what was behind it. Oh, humans often do things like that. We're very curious and irrational.
You are?
Oh, you shouldn't feel badly about not knowing things like that. What you need is someone to teach you those things.
Quagmire is played by Robert Folk. In 1967, he was 59 years old, and sadly, he passed away on February 25, 1989, at the age of 80. Folk had a prolific television career, making guest appearances in numerous popular shows of the time. He appeared in series such as Gunsmoke, Perry Mason, The Andy Griffith Show, Bonanza, and The Twilight Zone, among many others.
You ain't gonna like this. He shot a fellow in Virginia City. Killed him. No, Sheriff. No question about it, Ben. Where is he? Who was it he was supposed to have shot? One of them fellows from New Orleans, named Cole. This Inspector...
Giu is played by Harry Monty. In 1966, he was 62 years old. And sadly, he passed away on December 28, 1999, at the age of 95. Harry Monty was involved in local theater or community productions. Reaching out to local historical societies or theater groups in relevant areas might uncover more information. Thank you for watching the whole video. Leave your comments below this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and press the bell to wait for next videos.
Tiger Smith!
Here, just a moment. Help me to my room. I'm not quite ready. That wasn't fair. You gentle little man. Not fair. I'm not quite ready, sir.
Thank you, and see you again. N.